Some supporters of Liz Cheney now support former President Trump, while others won't budge. A proposed wind farm near Glen Rock could bring 200 jobs and power 44,000 homes. And if you've got a product you'd like labeled as bear-proof, there are grizzlies in West Yellowstone who are happy to test them for you. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. There's still hope among some Wyoming supporters of former Congresswoman Liz Cheney that former President Trump won't get the Republican nomination for president, but others have already switched to his side. Cowboy State Daily's Leah Wolfson reports that even some members of Cheney's 2022 campaign leadership team say they see the writing on the wall.
Most people think that former President Donald Trump is probably going to get the nominee. It's not technically done yet, and some of these people I spoke to were very adamant about pointing that out, but the numbers are not looking good for his leading opponent, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Spoke to former Congressman Al Simpson, who said that he won't vote for Trump under any circumstance, and he legitimately believes Haley still has a chance in winning the nominee.
Many Republican members of Congress, including Senators John Barrasso and Cynthia Lummis, have endorsed Trump. Representative Harriet Hageman also is a staunch supporter of the former president who endorsed her 2022 campaign. A Virginia-based energy giant could jolt some energy into the Converse County economy. Cowboy State Daily's Pat Mayo reports that AES Corp says its $230 million Settler wind farm near Glen Rock could bring 200 jobs at the peak of construction and produce enough electricity to power 44,000 homes.
It's adjacent to another project called Pioneer Wind Farm that AES has owned for a few years, maybe 3, 4, 5 years. It's the only wind farm properties that AES owns in the state of Wyoming. So it's significant because it's basically doubling its presence in the state.
Well, manufacturers who think their products are bear resistant may not have put them up against the grizzlies in West Yellowstone, Montana to test those claims. Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports that bears are turned loose on garbage cans, coolers, and other containers at the Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Center right outside Yellowstone National Park.
They put goodies in there like dog food or peanut butter and honey, things that the bears are going to like and be able to smell. They put that stuff in there, and then they put the stuff in the bear's enclosure, and they let them have at it and see if they can break into it.
The center tests an average of 60 products a year, with the sessions running between April 1st and October 1st. I'll be back with more news right after this.
Do you know it's illegal to dig or excavate without knowing what's below? This is Jan Warren, Executive Director for One Call of Wyoming. We will be hosting workshops around the state to educate homeowners, realtors, landscapers, underground facility owners, and excavators on the state law, industry best practices when it comes to planting a tree, building a fence, or any other excavation project you have planned. Join us for a free breakfast, get your questions answered, and learn how One Call of Wyoming is here to help. Go to onecallofwyoming.com and register today.
A Wyoming woman and 5 more from other states are suing the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority for allegedly fast-tracking a transgender alumnus into leadership positions, including national president. According to Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland, this new lawsuit takes some of its allegations from one that was filed last year in Wyoming, which is still in the appeals process.
One of the plaintiffs is, in fact, from around Cheyenne, Wyoming. So it's targeting the sorority council, saying that the council didn't tell anyone that one of its alumni was transgender and then fast-tracked that person into leadership positions with a possible presidency ahead, despite what they allege are lesser qualifications than the other candidates for those positions.
The 6 sorority members from Wyoming who sued last year accused the organization of breaching its duty to them and violating its governing rules by inducting male-to-female transgender member Artemis Langford at the UW chapter. And there's good news for aficionados of giant cow head art. The walls of Cheyenne Regional Airport are the hottest new spaces to showcase a Cuban immigrant's paintings, which place giant cow heads on human bodies. Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi reports that the piece is one of several new quirky works on the walls of the airport terminal.
Cheyenne Regional Airport is now featuring the art of local artists on the walls of the terminal, because the terminals were bare and there's a lot of foot traffic even in a regional airport. So the idea is people are going to be just doing their thing, navigating the terminal, and they'll see these paintings on the wall. And that's not only exposure to local artists, but it could lead to potential sales. And it already has in one case. One of those giant cow-headed pictures was hanging in the terminal and someone bought it. So it's already proving to have an effect.
And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.